How's everybody doing? I don't know how I'm doing. I came in this morning and I found this on my desk. So I don't know what they're trying to tell me, but I've got a Zamboni on my desk. You know, you lose a couple tight games, and now they're going to change. They're going to change my job description. No, there's nothing wrong. I'd like to drive the Zamboni. I always kind of wanted to do that, and probably will before it's all said and done. But yeah, you know what's going on? Have you been told anything? Is anything happening? I haven't read the paper today. I don't even know how to go online. I'm too old for that stuff.
I saw some keys on your desk.
You saw keys? Yeah. Keys to the Zamboni?
Yeah.
So is this bad news for me? Bad news for Dana Hurlbutt? What's going on?
Could be good news for the ice.
Come on, come up here, Toll. Come up here, Toll. Come up here right now. Come here. Come and help me with this.
All right, what are we doing?
Come on.
What are we doing?
Sit down. Sit down. Okay.
All right.
What is this all about? What is this all about? You got to help me.
Saturday
I
night.
get confused. I get confused easy. I'm always confused. He's one of the guys that deconfuses me. Joe Doyle, Andy Berg, Ben Kinney, Jock Lamoureux, Eric Marsh, Rob Rush at times. Okay? What's going on here?
Saturday night, the first 1,000 fans get the mini Zamboni bank. So get to the Cadet Ice Arena early.
So that's a bank?
You'll be here early. Yeah, look at the bottom.
So I got.
Right, we can put all our money in.
So that's a bank.
Look at that. I can't get it open. I think it's empty. Is there a coin slot? Yeah.
Okay. So why do they give me an empty bank?
That's a great point. That might be a message as well.
I'll tell you what. I fill up this little guy, and I can retire. Huh?
We can head to the keys together.
We can head to the keys together. That's our goal. Me, you, and Jimmy Buffett.
I like
right?
it.
That's what we're gonna do.
I like it.
Okay, so we got a promotion for a Zamboni bank. That's good news for me. That's good news for me. Things are gonna at least continue the way they are for another week.
Right, exactly.
All right.
We're home
Let's do
Saturday
this.
night. Let's
Thank
do
you
it.
for helping me
Hey,
deconflict that, my friend.
My pleasure. You
All
can
right.
keep this one too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Kind of cute little guy, isn't he? You know what, though? Where's the area for the fan to ride on the back? Huh? We are the only rink in the world that doesn't treat their fans to Zamboni rides. I want all the fans out there right now to write into the Air Force Academy saying, we want to ride the Zamboni, between periods. Agreed? Let's do it. Let's have a little write-in. Let's make some noise, and let's get our Zamboni situation. Let's get it up into the new millennium, right? It's 2020, what is it, 2020? I get confused with that one too. But good. Well, now that we got that straightened out, I'm sure there's nothing more anybody else wants to talk about, is there? Falcons took a couple tough ones on the chin last weekend, and got to keep moving forward. We got to keep moving forward. Holy Cross played hard, and they played well. And the problem. I love the way our kids competed. We were a little shorthanded. We're working our way through a few situations. I like the way our kids competed. And they were both great hockey games, pretty much 2-1 games. They scored an empty netter with a second left on the first night, so tight games. But the bottom line is the margin of error is awful thin when you only score one goal, and we got to find a way to score more goals. And like I said, it's not easy out there, and it's not going to get any easier this weekend. We've got Sacred Heart coming in here. Sacred Heart is coming off the biggest weekend in the history of their program. They won the inaugural Connecticut Cup, which is they're using out there to mirror the Beanpot tournament. They had the 4 teams, and Sacred Heart convincingly defeated Yale and Quinnipiac to win that championship. And I'm so happy and excited for C.J. Maritola and his Sacred Heart team. We've known that that's a good team for a long time, and it's been evolving. Their program's been going in the right direction, and to find a way to win the first Connecticut Cup and to beat their local rivals, Yale and Quinnipiac, in the process. Congratulations to them. CJ actually worked at Yale for many years as an assistant, so I know that meant a lot to him. We've got those guys coming in here. They've popped into the top 20. They're ranked number 20 in the country, and we played them earlier in the season, and we got fed on Friday. They fed us, I believe it was 6 or 7-1. They beat us the first night, and then we came back the next afternoon, and in Alex Schilling's first start, Alex put on a show, and we found a way to get a big win over a really, really good Sacred Heart team on Saturday afternoon. But we've got them coming in. They're coming in on a high. I watched their game yesterday against Quinnipiac, and it was no fluke. They got behind 1-0, but they came back strong, and they won that game 4-1, and there was no question that they were the better team. So we're going to have our hands full this weekend, but that's all right. We've like I said, we come off a tough weekend out at Holy Cross. The boys competed hard, but we came up short, a little short-handed. Hopefully we get a few more bodies back this weekend. Our compete level was there, but until they find a different way to decide hockey games, we got to find a way to score a few more goals.
Coach, a couple weeks ago, I know you said that you felt like the team had stalled. Do you still feel that way, or do you think that they're starting to find some footing here and there?
I really like the way we're competing, and all we really have control over is our effort and our attitude. We've got some injuries. We've got some other guys that are not available to play right now. Our roster isn't as deep as it should be. It's not as deep as we would like it to be. But right now, the boys are controlling what they can control. Holy Cross, a really difficult place to play. Very small ice surface, tight quarter play, and they're a team that plays hard, and they get into you. And it was for men only. And we lost that tight game on Friday, 2-1. They scored empty netter with a second left to make it 3-1. But I was worried coming back because I just go like tomorrow could be ugly. If we don't get off, when that puck drops, we better start taking our swings, because if we don't, we could be in for a long night. And our guys, when the puck dropped, they competed. They gave everything they had, and we just came up short. So, I'm real proud of the effort, and I didn't sense a stall. I admired the way they competed. They fought right to the bitter end. And, ultimately that's all we can control. I saw things stalling a week or so ago, and just didn't like the vibe, especially on those Saturday nights. But we had a really good last Saturday night last week in that sweep over Niagara. And we knew Niagara was a pretty good team. Remember, I was like, we're looking at Niagara, I'm going like, what's wrong with Niagara? They're better than their record. And sure as heck, what did they do this weekend? They swept Army, and Army's good. Army's got a good team. And, we go into Holy Cross. We lost a couple of tight games to a good team in a tough environment. But that's 4 games in a row that I thought our guys competed their butts off. And, that's all we can control right now. Ultimately, you control your attitude, your effort level, and then ultimately, are you good enough? Are you good enough? But that's yet to be decided.
With Schilling coming off a career game that first night against Holy Cross, where do you want to see him build on that performance?
Who was that?
Continue to improve. Alex Schilling.
Schills, okay, yeah. No, Schills has been outstanding. Schills has been our best player, game in and game out. And you've always got a chance when your best player, for the most part, every night is your goalie. Schills does everything in his power to give us a chance every night. And to be honest with you, hey, we lost 2-1 for the most part. And if we find a way to score a couple goals, we win a couple big games in a real tough environment, and an environment that we haven't won many games in over the last 5 years.
Yeah, just 2-7 right now away. What makes it so difficult to play on away ice and traveling these distances?
Our record's 2-7.
2-7-1, I believe. Yeah.
Oh wow, you know more than I do. That really bums me out. That really bums me out. Because usually we've been a really good road team. I can tell you, our league has evolved, and the balance of power has evolved in our league. AIC is playing in an American League building. Sacred Heart is playing in an American League building, and just announced that they're going to be building a new, $60 million, $600 million, bajillion dollar facility in the next couple of years on campus. Bentley's got a new rink on campus. RIT's got a new campus on a building on campus. Our league is moving in the right direction. This win that Sacred Heart had over UConn, Quinnipiac, and Yale, it was not a fluke. It was not a fluke at all. They've got a quality team, and our league is getting better and better. It's getting more competitive and more competitive, and and we've got to make some tweaks to our business model to keep up. I like our kids. I like how we're competing, but we've got to do better. And as a program, we're in the process. You're constantly reinventing yourself, and we've got to do that as well. So I don't want to blame our road record on our players. I think our players, for the most part, are controlling everything that they can control. I think our coaches, I'm real proud of my coaches in regards to getting the boys prepared and that type of thing. Are we doing everything that we can, to have the best players available to compete every weekend? Those are some things that we are presently looking at. Like I said, we're in an aggressive industry. It's a zero-sum business that we're in, and there's winners and there's losers. And, we've got to find ways not just to keep pace, but to try to stay ahead. And, we'll see where this thing goes. Right now, like I said, we've got some guys out of our lineup. We're shorthanded in a few areas. Hopefully that improves here in the next week or so. We're dealing with some other issues as well that I'd rather not talk about at this time. But for the most part, I'm proud of our players. I'm proud of our coaches. Do we, as a staff, need to get better? Need to be better? Need to find ways to keep pace with what's going on in college hockey? Yes, we do.